Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. So in today's video, thanks to AFK Inside, we've got the Awakened Belinda as the next Awakened hero. Now we should get patch notes with this in the next, probably, I'm going to say within the next 12 hours. And then 24 hours after that, she'll be actually in the game. So we're going to take a look at some translations of her skills. But even after I've read them like 5 times, I still struggle with reading the translated version. But you know, we'll get an idea. But then once again, when she does drop in the game, we'll go through exactly what her skills are and have a look at her and stuff like that. But that is the design. Let me know what you guys think. I had an ongoing joke from like the beginning of the game that Belinda looked like a common hero and she should have been replaced by Muriel. I would have loved it, honestly. So it looks like she's got like the blessing of flame. So I'm assuming they're going to go through the elements again, like flame. Then what do we have? We had wind with Lucius, earth with was it Earth? Yeah, Earth with Brutus. But I feel like they might go through that rotation again. But obviously this one kicking it off with a light bearer. Not sure if we'll get new cell hypos or anything like that. But I stand by the fact that I really wish they did this one as a Muriel. It would have been so cool. But, you know, we got Belinda. I'll have to wait and see the in-game sprite. This sprite doesn't like do wonders for me and make me like Belinda yet, but you know, let me know what you guys think of this new Belinda. I'm a bit biased because I've always joked with people who like Belinda that she's a common hero, but she does look a little bit less common. She looks a bit more ascended, if we would say, but that is going to be the Awakened Belinda. Now, like I said, these skills, shout out to AFK Inside, they're translated. I'm sorry if I stutter when I'm reading this. You guys know I suck at reading, but this just makes it even harder. So let's zoom in a little bit more. It gets a little bit blurry, but we should be good. Okay, so Cleansing Flame, the ultimate. Belinda summons a divine flame that burns out the battlefield. It deals damage to all enemies in an amount of X% of the level of the attack of the heroine, of herself. That's what I mean. Translations. Beautiful. I think it just deals damage equal to her, something of her attack. After that, the Divine Flame for X seconds inhabits Belinda, increasing her attack level by X% up to X%. So this is very vague, but it looks like she's going to scorch the field, dealing damage and also increasing her own attack. If Belinda uses the skill while being possessed by the flame, the effect of the corresponding effect will be extended by X seconds, meaning she gets that buff for longer. And if the heroine herself will inflict additional damage to all opponents in the area equal to X% of her attack level. So to break down that translation, it feels like she's going to scorch the battlefield. She's going to get a buff, and if she's already got the buff, she's going to deal extra damage and also extend the buff. That's what it sounds like from this. Let me know if I'm reading this wrong. If the Cleansing Flame, skill up number 1, if the Cleansing Flame lasts X seconds, deals damage to opponents several times, damage increased by, so if it lasts longer, it keeps dealing more damage, I guess. If Belinda is possessed by flame, then the fewer opponents on the battlefield, the more additional damage the skill does. Kind of like Shamira's signature item, if you remember that. Less enemies on the field, more damage. It's always a nice little benefit to have from an AoE attack. Okay, a Blinding Flash is the next ability. Belinda scorches the enemy with a shining flame, dealing him damage in the amount of X% of her attack level and setting him on fire for X seconds. When an enemy is set on fire, it takes damage for the next X seconds, will lose health equal to the amount of X% of Belinda's attack level. This effect can be activated X times every X seconds. A lot of X's. If Belinda is possessed by the Divine Flame, Dazzling Flash will cause damage to the target and all nearby enemies in the area. Basically, this one seems like a single target attack, deals damage instantly, deals damage over time. If she's got the buff, then it's gonna deal AoE damage instead of single target. That's the way I read this. And these skill ups are gonna be the signature item. When the set on fire enemy has received damage, it is for the next X seconds will lose health in the amount of X% of Belinda's attack level. So it just adds to the dot by the sounds of it. When a set fire enemy receives damage, it is for the next X seconds. It will lose Okay, so just increasing the dot, I'm guessing. Once again, translation's always fun. When the burning flash deals damage to an enemy, it also removes the power-ups, so a buff strip. And then at level 30, if Belinda is possessed by the Divine Flame, additional lights will be created. So it sounds like this makes it... So to me, the 30 signature item sounds like... So this attack at base is just a single target. When she has the buff, it becomes like an AoE burn. But if she's got the buff now with 30 signature item, it sounds like it's going to put a bunch of them down and burn multiple enemies, and then they're going to deal AoE burning damage. So it sounds like this becomes like a massive board shred. That's the way I'm reading it. Could be wrong. Once again, we'll look at the official skills when they come out. Let's go here. Let's zoom in a little bit more because my eyes are shut. Belinda for X seconds marks the allied hero with a sacred sigil. A hero with a sigil every X seconds deals damage to nearby enemies the size of yada 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 attack. Part of the treatment that the hero receives will be stored in a sigil, the capacity of which is up to X% of Belinda's maximum health. So basically this is saying it gives them a buff and it deals damage to enemies around them, and it stores up value. Now, when Belinda takes damage over X% of her maximum health, she takes one of the sigils to neutralize the damage. So she's got like an avoid high damage ability. Think of like Rowan, how he offsets damage. There's a bunch of these skills in the game, but she's going to absorb one of them instead. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. If Belinda is possessed by the Divine Flame, she will automatically receive the Sacred Sigil, and she will not need to activate this skill to use the sigil. I mean, that's pretty solid, so she can like just receive the sigil but not have to do it. There must be a cooldown on that. Not too sure. I have to wait and see. This one's going to be the furniture. When there is an active sigil on the battlefield, Belinda will restore health in the amount of X% of the damage when dealing divine damage. Cool beans. So she's got some heal. 9 furniture. For each active sigil, Belinda's critical hit level is increased and critical damage. So this is back to true of the original Belinda, where she gives the buff of crit damage and crit rate. Not too bad. Then we got this one. Final normal skill, and then we've got her awakened skill. Belinda's skills deal X% divine damage and X% fire damage. Divine damage cannot it can't critical hit, whatever. But it does not decrease under the influence of enemy protection. So it doesn't crit, but it doesn't get reduced. It's like fixed damage once it's calculated. Fire damage is always critical, and for each point of Belinda's critical strike level, the damage inflicted increases by X%. If Belinda is possessed by the Divine Flame, divine damage and fire damage receive each other's positive effects. So this becomes where she can just I feel like this is going to be an absolute force in PvP, because she uses one ult and then she gets all these extra divine effects, and like she's going to just use this and like burn the whole field, and everything's going to be a guaranteed crit that doesn't get nullified by that's going to be huge. When it says they gain each other's positive effects, so you don't like lose out on the crit. She's just always critting, and the enemies can't mitigate the damage. That's pretty solid. Like that could even, like, depending on her scaling, could be good in PvE campaign high deficit as well. I'm not too sure on that, but definitely I think for PvP she's going to absolutely slap. Fire damage increases Belinda's attack level by X%, and these are the engravings. After Belinda has been possessed by the Divine Flame for X seconds, she will stop using normal attacks, and the duration of possession will be increased by... Okay, interesting. We'll have to wait and see how all this works. Let's go to her Awakening skill. Like I said, I apologize for it being so sketchy, but I suck at reading translated text. I suck at reading normal English, you guys know, but when it's translated, it's even harder. All the character boosts and energy recovery that Belinda receives from allies are increased by X%. This could be huge. Like, you put her, because she is a mage, with the Windbinder and a Rowan, and then maybe she ults in like 10 like, I was about to say 10. How is that even a good... Like, she'll ult really, really fast is what I'm trying to say. I just woke up gear break. If an ally helps Belinda restore energy, she is on X seconds, gives him the Flame Glory effect. So if anyone restores her energy, they get the buff. When an ally with this effect applies an active skill, It triggers a cleansing flame that deals X% damage to targets in nearby enemies from Belinda's attack level. By applying the Flame of Glory every X time, every so many times, Belinda becomes possessed by the flame. Or her current prolonged by X. At the same time, the divine damage inflicted by her is increased. Basically, it's a lot of buffs. She gets more energy faster. I'm not going to try and read through that. That's just an absolute, just muddle of words. But you guys get the gist. That's Belinda. She's basically aiming to be just like a massive burst nuke unit, is basically what I'm getting out of that. But we'll definitely check her out. We'll have patch notes tonight. We'll have her dropping in the game tomorrow, and we'll check it all out a bit more thoroughly, because this was bloody hard. My brain is cooking. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.